Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing?
Hello, good morning and welcome to Good Morning Port Harcourt, coming to you live from Silverbird Television right here in Port Harcourt, wherever you're watching us from. Know that this is that round of show for your morning times that we bring to you from Monday to Friday, and it's basically a show that keeps you informed, keeps you of course educated on the happenings around the country, as well as keep you actually entertained on Fridays. We have the Friday edition that goes a little bit lightheaded. Okay, so today on the program, what we have packed up for you so much, we'll bring you the news headlines like you would enjoy it. We'll make you understand the news in a way that you get really informed, and then afterwards we will be looking at issues that are rising, matters that are rising in our country. Of course, there has been a cry, ministers resign, ministers resign. It had to take the president to speak up and of course give an instruction that all of you must resign. Well, so far some of them have resigned and some are still not yielding yet. And this is not just speaking to just the ministers. We also have other appointees that are also not yielding to the cry of the CSOs and of course the president's call for resignation. We will be talking much about this today, and I'm joined by a public affairs analyst and a political affairs analyst today on the show. We will take a break, but we come back on Good Morning Port Harcourt. It'll be time to give you the news. And what do we do on the news? We give you the newspaper headlines as well as other headlines making the news, top news online. My name is Deborah Balama. Welcome to Good Morning Port Harcourt.
Only one beauty pageant spawned the first Miss World from Black Africa. Only one pageant births 5 titles in one night. Only one pageant stands out consistently from the rest. Because when it's all said and done, there can only be truly one. The most beautiful girl in Nigeria, Africa's most prestigious beauty pageant, is here again. Get your forms now for the 34th edition of the MBGN. To register, visit www.mbgnsilverbird.com or follow our social media handles at Silverbird MBGN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for details. Don't be told, you can be the one. MBGN, the true essence of beauty. There and remains deadly and highly contagious, and only too willing to strike again and again and again. Do not drop your guard. Maintain good personal hygiene, avoid overcrowded places, and more significantly, get vaccinated. Remember, it's never over till it's completely over. This is a message from the Silverbird Group.
Okay, welcome back to Good Morning Port Harcourt, and this is the part where we get to tell you what's happening on the news, looking at the highlights, of course. And then we go first of all to the papers, where we have from the Punch, and right here as the major headliner we have ministers exit ahead of party primaries, and we have Buhari bows to pressure. APC panel may demand resignation letters. Well, this is where we are in the polity of the All Progressives Congress at the moment. For the first time, we see a lot of political appointees being interested in the number one seat in the country, which is the office of the presidency. And well, a lot of them, including Wanjoba also is interested. He's the Minister of Science and Technology. I beg your pardon, the Minister of Science and Technology. We have Akpabio. We have, of course, Wanjoba. We have Rotimi Amechi. We also have Chris Ngige. So far, 4 of them have actually tendered their resignation. That is to say, Wanjoba has tendered his, Obonoyono has tendered his, Rotimi Amechi has tendered his, Godswill Akpabio, the Minister of Niger Delta, has tendered his. We also hear that Tibi Silva has also tendered his, but we're not sure about that one yet. However, Chris Ngige has insisted that he's going to be getting further clearance from the president before he will tender his own. Well, this is also on the background of the fact that just yesterday, a court of appeal sitting in Abuja actually unturned the judgment of the High Court that actually did say that the Constitution supersedes or overrides the amendment of the Constitution, which is of course the section 84 subsection 12 that was amended recently, and the Electoral Act, and the court went ahead to say that every concerned party should of course resign. And well, to this end, the president also gave an order, and as at yesterday, which of course we had a lot of them turning in their resignation letter. However, Emefiele has not done that yet, and the president is saying it spills to you as well. You have to turn in your resignation letter. He's yet to do that. And he has also said to every other appointee, so long as you are working in this government and you are an appointee, you have to turn in your resignation letter if you are interested in any political office. Should it be treated as contempt of court if an appeal court has already unturned the judgment of the High Court, saying they did not even have the jurisdiction to hear that matter? Well, let us see what will happen. So far, we hear that Chris Ngige is the only one so far, as at the time of coming on air. Maybe by now he would have done that, but as at the time of coming on air, Chris Ngige is yet to turn in his resignation letter, as well as confirmation that Tibi Silva, the Minister of State for Petroleum, has also turned in his, has not really been confirmed. And then we go to The Nation, where we have a quick order how Buhari shocked ministers by ATFEC. This is actually coming as a surprise because they had all it's been rumored up and down, but no strong statement came. And ATFEC, they were all surprised to hear the president give the order in blue and white. All right, and so they are trying to get up with that. Chris Ngige is also saying he needs to go and ask the president for that. I don't know what he needs to ask the president about. If someone, the person who is your principal, has said, please resign, you have to leave office, this is the right thing to do so that governance will not suffer. However, that will not be affecting the vice president because he is occupying an elective position, so he's excluded from all this. You know, according to the Constitution, he is allowed to vie for office while in office. So we'll go over to This Nigeria, where we also have this same headline. It is what is spinning all over. This Nigeria, APC primary, you must go, you must go. And went further to say Buhari, others contesting appointees, Akpabio, Wanjoba, Obonoyono, Amechi, Ngige, Silva, all of them to go. You must go if you want to run. And the question is, what is so difficult? You want to run for presidency. This is what the Constitution says. You know, I mean, at the moment, there's an electoral act specified that says this: resign and leave office if you want to contest for another office. I said that they're not sure of the fact that they're going to clinch this, or they want to eat their cake and have it. You can't eat your cake and have it. That's just what it is. So that's what we have from This Nigeria. And if you go further, you will see where, of course, you have soldiers protest 44 years of unpaid pension. Whoa. You know, we talk about pension matters, but I'm pretty sure Nigerians don't know this part. This is really, why do they keep a lot of things about the military undercover? Why is it just now that we're hearing this? How can people be owed a pension for 44 years? That is unspeakable. These are people who gave their life for the country. People who sacrificed their time, didn't have the leisure to do a lot of things because they were out there protecting Nigerians and protecting the sovereignty of our country and all that. Why would they go through this? I mean, and think of the fact that the public office holders, they're never owed. They never owe their gratuity. They're never owed what they are due. We have never had them protest of not being paid, never. But when it comes to the people who have done civil service, who have served the country in different capacity, we hear them complain of this 44 years. If this is anything to go by, whoa, it is really a very pathetic situation. Well, let us go to the Nigerian News Direct. And on Nigerian News Direct, we have that 2023 election in compliance with Buhari's directive, Akpabio, Amaechi, and Onu resign. Okay, what I think that is basically what we have all over the news, and when we look at this matter critically this morning, going over to leadership, we have staving off litigations. PMB ask Malami, Amaechi, Silva, 5 others to go. Well, this also speaks to Emefiele. I'm meant to understand that. We'll go to the national economy, where we have that Nigeria may lose vehicle imports traffic to Benin and Togo ports. Well, this is coming from the national economy, and they went further to explain that as custom insists on implementation of 15% national automotive council levy and clearing agent fees. This is actually what is headlining the national economy, saying that we might have a situation where people who are importing vehicles might need to use the Benin Republic and Togo ports to bring in vehicles to the country, going by a newly introduced fee by the customs, which is a 15% national automotive council levy, which anyone bringing in vehicles into Nigeria has to pay. Well, I do hope that this does not affect us, because I'm looking at someone bringing in a vehicle from Benin. You need to transport it still to Nigeria, and that might be problematic and all that. Well, we'll go over to Daily Trust, where we have that Buhari orders Amaechi, Malami, and 7 other ministers to quit. And then we also go to another headline there. You have NJC forestalls conflicting rulings, issues guidelines on election matters. Meanwhile, the All Progressive Congress is expected to stop all sales of farm today. We don't know if there might be an extension of that. And we'll go to the other stories, where we have we'll go to this day, where we have that concerns mount over National Assembly's amendment of Electoral Act to boost Lawan's chances. Well, you all are aware that a lot of the senators are willing to come back to vie for senatorial elections, and well, they are saying that the Senate is serving their bid, so they are amending the Electoral Act to suit their purpose. Well, that question is as good as it is for you and I to look into. Anyway, we'll go over to the other happenings, the other headlines of the news, where we of course have the fact that a lot of things have been going on in the polity, and here we have that the story that has to do with the ministerial resignation, where the president's aide released a report, and I'll read it out to you. At least 7 ministers under the President Muhammadu Buhari administration have resigned following the directive from their principal on Wednesday. They are Chukwuemeka Nwajoba, Minister of State for Education; Rotimi Amaechi, Minister of Transportation; and then Godswill Akpabio, Minister of Niger Delta Affairs. And we also have Obonoyono, Minister of Science and Technology. The ministers resigned their appointments after Buhari ordered members of the Federal Executive Council, FEC, seeking elective offices to resign on or before Monday, May 16th. And well, you would also recall that there was already a statement by the president on Tuesday that actually did give the directive before the FEC meeting. So far, we hear that they have received 3 resignation letters, according to Tolu Ogunlesi, who is the media aide to the president. He said so far 3 has officially come in. However, there are also should I say rumors or perhaps reports that Timipre Silva has also put in his own letter, but officially the presidency has not acknowledged that. But right here, it is also written that Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, has claimed that he wants to get clarification from Muhammadu Buhari before he would tender his own resignation. And so that is actually what we'll be looking at today holistically when we come back from this break. We're looking at matters arising in River State as well. Our present governor, Nyesom Wike, has actually stirred the news following his comments at the Thanksgiving service that held in an Anglican church right here in Port Harcourt, River State, where he gave some lashing to the Boundary Commission and also gave some lashes to the Imo State governor, as well as also did not spare the Ijaw nation. He also used swear words on them and condemned them outrightly. Well, responding to that, the Ijaw National Council has also sent messages saying that they also do not like the way the governor speaks to the Ijaw nation, and they are alleging that the governor doesn't seem to like anything that concerns the people of Ijaw land. Well, that is the much we can take this morning on the headlines from the news and of course the newspaper headlines. When we come back, we'll look at this matter together. What should be waiting for those who do not meet the deadline? As Chris Ngige has said, he needs to get clarification from the president before he puts in his resignation letter. We will look at that matter together with a public affairs analyst that is joining us shortly. Stay with us. This is Good Morning Port Harcourt.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing?
Only one beauty pageant spawned the first Miss World from Black Africa. Only one pageant births 5 titles in one night. Only one pageant stands out consistently from the rest. Because when it's all said and done, there can only be truly one. The most beautiful girl in Nigeria, Africa's most prestigious beauty pageant, is here again. Get your forms now for the 34th edition of the MBGN. To register, visit www.mbgnsilverbird.com or follow our social media handles at SilverbirdMBGN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for details. Don't be told, you can be the one. MBGN, the true essence of beauty. With a gradual lifting of COVID-19 restrictions across the country, life seems to be returning to something close to normal. But is it really? The coronavirus is still out there and remains deadly and highly contagious, and only too willing to strike again and again and again. Do not drop your guard. Maintain good personal hygiene, avoid overcrowded places, and more significantly, get vaccinated. Remember, it's never over till it's completely over. This is a message from the Silverbird Group.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay? Really?
Glad to know that you're still there with us. We are, of course, waiting for the public affairs analyst to come in. But just before he comes, let's also open the phone line and discuss some of the issues on the front burner of our country at this moment. Okay, and of course, we've been hearing of the fact that there are signals that President Goodluck Jonathan would be declaring to run for president under the All Progressive Congress. However, there has been denial here and there. Just 2 days ago, we heard that he had registered as a member of the APC, but the chairman of the APC in Bayelsa State debunked that by saying that as at 2 days ago, Jonathan was not a member of the APC, and so therefore has not in any way come to them to say he's joining the APC, and that cannot be true. Well, just to give it some level of energy, the media aide to the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, Ikechukwu, has released another statement. He released a statement 2 days ago warning seriously that people should stop peddling rumor, and that the former president finds it very insulting that he would be bought a form for without his knowledge, without his consent, by a group of persons, and debunk the fact that he has anything to do with the purchase of that form. Well, going by the whole rumors that spilled from even the national dailies and so many platforms yesterday, another statement was released just yesterday evening, and on this particular statement he said, report on Wednesday 11th of May 2022 says he has joined the APC, and this is coming after the APC Bayelsa chairman on Tuesday the 10th of May 2022 said, Jonathan, not yet our member. Bayelsa chairman said this on Tuesday, and then the same Jonathan went to Dakar same day for international duties and yet to return to Nigeria. When did he purchase the form? When did he leave Dakar? And when did he go to join the APC? This statement further reveals. He cited the fact that Sahara reporters, who according to him are non-credible media outlet, reported that GEJ gave some governor 200 million naira for a form. What sense is this given when the form is 100 million naira? He also went on to say what on earth would make GEJ spend a couple to attend a form for himself when he is being begged and cajoled to run for this office. He went further to say that a lot of all the stories will keep coming up. However, please, he asks everyone to disregard and stick to the last statement he issued, that the ex-president Jonathan is not yet in the race for presidency, neither is he a member of the APC. He went on to say ex-president Jonathan was a Nigerian president and PDP, ACN and all, and he has positioned himself to forever be an ex-president to all Nigerians, regardless of whether he's a PDP member or not. A successful president cannot be an aspirant as he has been a president before. The statement went on to quote, Jonathan will not come out to run against anyone. However, like a retired general, when called upon during war, he might yield to that call if called upon. The use of might is because he is content with his international duties. Those flying these rumors seem to forget that consensus requires the signature of all contestants in agreement until the last aspirant in any political party cites. They can't be consensus. He went on to say a retired general with all the experience will not be called upon and go into unprepared battlefield, and went on to say, however, in politics a lot can happen within 24 hours. This is to say that this decision can be changed any moment. This is what a statement by Ikechukwu Eze, the spokesperson for Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, sent out yesterday evening, correcting these rumors. And of course, we look at this story holistically. What is it about this pressure on President Goodluck Jonathan to contest for presidency? What is so special about it? Why does it look at the moment he was introduced into it the president got more serious to ask all 7 ministers to resign. What is special about Goodluck Jonathan? And you that is actually watching today, what is your contribution on this? Do you think he should go for it? We look at this vis-a-vis the ministerial pressure to resign. Why did they have to wait for pressure? And despite the fact that there's a court judgment from the appeal court that has unturned the judgment given by the High Court. First of all, the appeal court cited that court has no jurisdiction to hear this matter, and went on to say that aside from that, this is a constitutional matter. There is already a constitutional provision for this, which is of course the Electoral Amended Act, which has on the section 84 subsection 12 that public office holders, appointees should resign 90 days before the election. But if this is the case, have they not already gone against the Constitution? Because resigning at this time is still not 90 days. They had enough time, and this delayed out until now. We will take a break to bring in our guest who has arrived. When we take this break and come back, you have a chance to call in, as well as we get to talk about this matters that are on the news, all the top stories we've talked about this morning. We'll have a chance to talk about it. You also have a chance to call in and let us know your take on all these matters. What is the pressure from the northern side on Jonathan? What is it about him? Because from Ikechukwe's statement, they are begging him to run. Where have you ever seen where they beg people to run for presidency? We'll be right back on Good Morning Port Harcourt. Stay with us.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing?
Only one beauty pageant spawned the first Miss World from Black Africa. Only one pageant births 5 titles in one night. Only one pageant stands out consistently from the rest. Because when it's all said and done, there can only be truly one. The most beautiful girl in Nigeria, Africa's most prestigious beauty pageant, is here again. Get your phones now for the 34th edition of the MBGN. To register, visit www.mbgnsilverbird.com or follow our social media handles at SilverbirdMBGN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for details. Don't be told, you can be the one. MBGN, the true essence of beauty. To normal. But is it really? The coronavirus is still out there and remains deadly and highly contagious, and only too willing to strike again and again and again. Do not drop your guard. Maintain good personal hygiene, avoid overcrowded places, and more significantly, get vaccinated. Remember, it's never over till it's completely over. This is a message from the Silverbird Group.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing?
Only one beauty pageant spawned the first Miss World from Black Africa. Only one pageant births 5 titles in one night. Only one pageant stands out consistently from the rest. Because when it's all said and done, there can only be truly one. The most beautiful girl in Nigeria, Africa's most prestigious beauty pageant, is here again. Get your forms now for the 34th edition of the MBGN. To register, visit www.mbgnsilverbird.com or follow our social media handles at SilverbirdMBGN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for details. Don't be told, you can be the one. MBGN, the true essence of beauty. With a gradual lifting of COVID-19 restrictions.
Hello. What will you be doing Mondays to Friday, 10 a.m.? Join us, front burner of the nation and the River State. Join us right here on STV.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing? Are you feeling okay?
Holy Father.
What will you be doing Monday to Friday? Join us on STV as we bring you Good Morning Port Harcourt. We'll talk about politics, socio-economic issues. We'll look at topics on the front burner of the nation and our River State. Join us right here on STV.
Good morning. Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing?
Okay, welcome back to Good Morning Port Harcourt. And today on our discussion segment, we are looking at the headliners, and these are all politically related. Of course, we have, a drama from the APC. The PDP also just last night, decided that it will be open for all. There will be no zoning. And to discuss this matters that are rising with me this morning is we'll have our public affairs analyst right here with us, who also doubles as the bureau chief for Vanguard paper. You're welcome this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Okay, and so let's look at the matters that are rising. We look at the APC, where the president had to yesterday insist instructively to people who are contesting for all political positions to resign. Vis-a-vis the Court of Appeal on turning the judgment of the High Court based on the section 84 subsection 12 of the Electoral Act, saying that all participants in this political process who are vying for positions should resign, who actually at the moment are political appointees, should resign before, at least 90 days before the election. And then we'll also look at the pressure on former President Goodluck Jonathan. What is it about this former president? And if you look at it, this same APC were the same people who deemed him incompetent. This same APC is the same APC that had a lot of campaigns against him, saying he was dull, he was inactive, he was not strong enough to be president, he didn't have the will. What changed in Goodluck Jonathan? What is different about him and that time? You understand? And then let's also look at what's it about the ministers not agreeing to resign? What is it about resigning to contest for an office that you're sure you qualify to contest for? We also look at the PDP. What does it hold now that the PDP has said open for everybody? You can all go. Let's start from the bottom of the matter. Let's look at the ministerial issue first.
Okay, I think the first thing for me is that it is very disappointing that the president had to wait for Court of Appeal decision and all that before taking the expressing the will to actually act. I have always looked at that issue as more of a moral issue than a constitutional issue. I mean, the office of elected officials are tenured, but that of appointed officials are not tenured. The president can hire you today and fire you tomorrow. And then we are looking at a public office. You are running around consulting, and you are creating distraction for the government. The president should not have waited for any law before taking the decision, before telling the ministers, if you are interested in running for any office, resign. That should be the moral thing. It's more of a moral issue than even constitutional. And I think the president was getting disappointed, but better late than never. It was okay that he has taken the decision. Now, with the president taking the decision, you now discover that nobody has to go into legal debate in law courts anymore. It is the president's right to fire and hire any minister or any appointee in his administration. And the normal thing to do into an election year is for them to resign. Somebody comes in and finish up where they have started. You begin to look at the economics of what they are even doing, why it is not good for the nation. You are running for office, you are a minister, and then you start traveling. When they start traveling, they travel at the expense of the state. They fly all those jets at the expense. Some are even taking private jets so that they can meet up with their consultation. You want to be in Jalingo today, you want to be in Lagos the same day. They fly private jet. Who pays for all those ones? It is public money they use to pay for all those. They will tell you, they will not come and tell us it's their money they use. So the right thing for them to do is to resign. You resign and concentrate on your electioneering campaign. Some other person comes and go into that office and finish up. So the president has decided. You will discover now that all these debates in court will die down now, because the president has ruled that within so time you must resign your office. So that is what he should have done. That would have rested everything.
Okay, Mr. Gofe, let's also look at this particular matter deeper. Now, it is believed that the president suddenly decided to be stiff when Jonathan came into the picture. And now there are some alleging reports that it might be connected to the fact that they had gone into meetings to ask for a consensus for Jonathan to be able to run without being contested at the primary, but that some ministers have refused to resign, to actually give up their position, to withdraw from the race, to allow Jonathan the space. These are all allegations. These are all sort of rumors coming from different quarters. But there are also speculation that this might be the ground that made the president feel like, oh, maybe because they are still ministers, they don't understand that I'm in charge. You understand? Let them resign, and let's now be talking as president, leader, and this time around they will not be my my appointees. They will now be people who are contesting for office. This is what people are saying. Some quarters are saying at this point. Do you think it holds some water?
No. That is the point. I said it was more of a moral issue than a constitutional issue. Before now, the president, the minister may have been holding that view you had because they had the law to hold on to. They believe the law protected them. But the person who is their head, who they should listen to, if he had ruled from the very beginning, they won't sit down and say, it's my office, or because somebody else is contesting, that's why I'm doing it. No, it has always. And to even look at it, remember that some of these persons, most of these ministers that are running, they were former governors. In their time, if we have a good sense of history, in their time they didn't allow it. After serving out their second term, their 8 years, when they were about leaving office, they asked political office holders, commissioners in their executive, in their cabinet, if you are running, resign. That was if you go into it, most of them that are governors, they didn't allow their commissioner to stay in office throughout the electoral period towards the primary. They told them much before they even started buying form, if you are running, resign, even before they bought forms. So why are you going into office now? You want to do a different thing. So it tells you the greed of the Nigerian politician, which is not helping our leadership.
As of this morning, 4 ministers have already tendered a resignation, though 3 confirmed, by the SA to the president, Tolu Ogunlesi, has confirmed 3 of them resigning. However, the 4th one, which is Timipre Silva, has not been confirmed whether he has tendered resignation or not. But we hear he might have done that. But there's the particular minister, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige. Senator Chris Ngige has said he needs further clarification from the president. Isn't this contempt of court? And if you look at it very well, I know we might need the legal people to really interpret this for us very well. However, if the Constitution has said, the amended Act has said, Section 84 has said that you should resign 90 days. This is not 90 days because their primary is just at the corner. So is it not already contempt of court that they are resigning at this point? That's number one. Number two, do you think that the screening committee might use this as a ground of disqualification for some? Because I'm looking at it technically. Now, the president has given an order on or before the 16th. That's Monday. They should all have resigned. Chris Ngige has said he needs further clarification. Is this not a clear contempt of court?
Like I said
just hold on your thought. Let's take this call from a caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, your name, where you're calling from, and then of course your input.
My name is Comrade Dine Izoba, calling from Kano local government.
Go on, we're listening to you.
Mr. Moderator, I quite appreciate the advice. You see, some of these governments are very great, like you said. When they were governors in their various states, they asked their appointee to resign before contesting for any position. But now the person has done the needful. They are looking at it as the man is biased and the man is like, he's very stiff to them. I want to support the president. I want to tell them to resign and come in and do the needful. Thank you.
All right, let's go back to what we're talking about while we wait for the callers to call in. We were talking about the fact that isn't this technically contempt of court? Because as at now, when the judgment came, it means that you should immediately, hearing a court affirm that, I was thinking that all of them would have, even without the president talking, hearing the Court of Appeal affirm that, on that first judgment, I thought we would have had a lot of them resigning by now.
Of course, that is why, just like the caller said, with the president having stamped his feet to say, this is what I want, we won't pay much attention to even the court debates anymore, because this is what he should have done. If he had done it from the beginning, there would not have been room for them to hang on to any court ruling that favored them that has now been unturned by any court. But of course, if he refuses, it will be contempt of court if he refuses. But the courts are in better position to do the interpretation. You know, the way with our judicial system, the man can go to court now and hang on to one loophole that gives him the leverage to also stay on. But he won't be able to stay on beyond the 16, as the president has said.
Let's take this call. Hello. 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 Good morning. Hello. Okay. 0817-962-4696. Away from this matter, let's go to the other matters arising. Let's look at, of course, the PDP. You know, before now, there had been an autumn-led panel. Of course, the Benue State governor, and they all decided to, I beg your pardon, there was a statement from them saying that they are recommending for it to be open to all, that it shouldn't be zoned. It should all be free for all. Anybody that has the capability should come and try their bits. You understand? So, I mean, at this juncture now, the party has come up with, NEC has come up to say, we allow, the National Working Committee for the PDP has said, we are allowing an open field for everybody. Do you think this is fair? To the South, and the Southeast and South, who had actually thought that this was going to work in their favor, do you think it's actually fair? Let's take this call before we go into that. Hello, good morning. Go on, please.
Okay, we dealt with it a little bit last week, and what I said was that, again, we are looking at another issue that is more of a moral issue than people hanging on to sentiment. if you look at what the PDP has been over the years since in our nascent democracy, you discover that there shouldn't have been any need for even the autumn committee.
Just hold on your thought. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello. Please, when you do calling, hold on for instructions from the live studio. Good morning. What's your name, where you're calling from, and then your contribution, please?
I'm calling on behalf of the
Okay. Go on. We're listening to you. We can't hear you clearly, please. Hello. Sorry, that call is really poor. We can't take that call. The reception is bad. Go on, please.
So I was going to say that there shouldn't have been any need for that autumn committee in the first place. The PDP should not at this juncture be debating whether there should be rotational opportunity for the presidency. It has been there, even though it is not cast in written form in their constitution, but somehow they have allowed it to prevail, because what is happening, like I said before in our previous appearance, is a double standard. When it comes to certain session enjoying that rotation, there is sentiment, there is not disagreement. We don't have any rotation, it should be thrown open. But when it comes to some other region of the country, other zone, the other zone will respect it and leave it for them. So we said it the other time that this thing, it should not just even be south turn this time. It should even be southeast, because you are looking at a zone that has not enjoyed that office before. So all these sentiments, autumn committee and all that, and next decision and all that, is all part of the conspiracy to ensure that they leave it open to benefit certain persons. And if the other party, the other major party, we know that is the ruling party now, APC, goes out of their way to adopt rotating it to a particular session or the south, it is going to be difficult for the PDP.
Okay, well, basically the reasons why the autumn-led panel had recommended this, part of their reason is the fact that they are actually not in power, and so they would need to put out their best of bests to be able to clinch power from the APC, which is part of the reason they left it open in their recommendation. And that might also be the reason why the National Working Committee of the PDP adopted this recommendation by the autumn-led panel. Do you think that basically they have some sense in it, because they are looking at clinching the power? Let's take this call before we go into this question. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name, where you're calling from, and then your contribution.
I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, go on with your contribution, please.
Okay, I'm talking about this zoning of the thing. I believe the problem comes from the leadership of the party, and the other side, it comes from the members and constitution. We don't respect the constitution of the party. If we agree and respect the constitution of this party, we know that this zoning will be working accordingly. You have to go to Mr. A what you did to Mr. B. So
I doubt there's zoning in the party constitution, though. Has it been enshrined in their constitution?
It has never been enshrined, but there has always been that understanding.
There's just an understanding. A gentleman.
It has even been cascaded to some states. Like I can tell you, I'm from Delta State. I can tell you it is working. It's been working in Delta State. The zone according to the senatorial district.
Okay.
So when it started, it was Delta Central. From there, it went to Delta South when the cousin took over, and then it went to Delta North when Okowa now had it now. There has also been this argument too, whether it should be respected or not. But in Delta, they have a way of respecting it at the end of the day. People can come from everywhere, every senatorial district to buy nomination form. But when they go to the field to do that primary, to pick the person, they have a way of always ensuring that the zone that is supposed to be his turn to run will pick the ticket.
Okay, just before that call came in, I was trying to go deeper into this, and I asked, could it be that the reason for PDP to adopt this might be the instances cited by the autumn-led panel that said at this juncture that they are trying to clinch power, they need to put out their best of best to be able to win the election. So they are looking at going. There's this thing that has been sold to everybody's mentality that the North has more voting power. Do you understand? So they are looking at the fact that if we leave this open and put out the best of best, that can ensure that we collect power back from the APC. That would be what we need right now. Do you think that there might be sense in how they decided to arrange it?
So the best of best should be is the same thing as saying there should be double standard. That when it comes to some zone, it is okay because they have the voting power. When it comes to some other zone, whether we are in power or not, this thing has always been coming up. Whether they are in power or not, even when they were in power, there is always this tussle for them to come. You know, they never really conceded power to the South after Obasanjo. They weren't really prepared to concede power to the South. It was the death of Yar'Adua that brought Jonathan in, that now made it possible for them to concede that Jonathan, having gone in, should now run for office. That was why he had it. You discover that even when he now had the opportunity of coming, there was rancor, and those were also part of the reason why Jonathan also failed. So these issues are just sentiment. There should not be double standard. If you say there is zoning, those of you that have voting power should work assiduously to support the person whose zone it is. There should not be issue of we are not in power, so we should use the side where we have voting power.
So do you think this works against them? Because if the APC, as you have said, decides to now stick to the plan and have somebody from the South, just as they've zoned it.
Yes.
The party already zoned it to the South.
Yes.
However, we still have some Northern candidates that have taken interest.
Yes.
So you're thinking now that if it's actually adhered to and what they have said, they keep to it, they might stand a chance to win the general election.
Of course, because the chances are this: if you zone it to the South, you have the opportunity of getting votes and block from the South. Let's face it, it is not just only the vote from the North that makes the election. You also have the vote from the South, the Southeast, Southwest. So if they come up, if they do this thing well, they will have votes and block from the South, and then they now struggle to get some votes in the North, and they have won the election.
Okay, well, let's see if we can take some more calls. 0817-962-4696. But let us look at the last matter just before we call it a day on the Good Morning Port Harcourt show today. The matter of Jonathan, the pressure on former President Jonathan. This is the same person who the APC at several protests shot at some point. The leaders of the APC, Tinubu, Buhari, they all went to protest that this man is incapable to rule or to govern Nigeria. He's incapable to be president. He doesn't have the will. He doesn't have the power. He doesn't have that charisma. He lacks this. He lacks that. What changed about this man? Why does it seem to be that the people who are pressuring him, according to, let's take this call before we go into that matter. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, your name, where you're calling from, and then your contribution.
I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, you need to be audible so we can hear you better. Go on, please. You have just a minute to make your point.
My name is Ivan. Actually, now is our time for us to take this power from North.
Okay.
For example, now we have candidates from North. It's normal thing. And we see other candidates from South and East, which is the rightful thing. But the true thing about Nigeria is our turn as a South now to go. For example, now, North, they are planning to buy from now to Jonathan to continue, which is 4 years. After 4 years now, he will now step down and to go back again for power. That is not our agenda. Our agenda is that now we want somebody that have not gone to that place before to go for now. Example, somebody like Amechi, somebody like Agbabi. That is the two candidates that we choose now to go there. But one of them must go there. The reason is that because North, that using this power since 1950. Like for example, what the boss just said now is that after if not like Yar'Adua was died to hand over power to Jonathan as the vice president. No, they will not allow us to take the power. That is not how Nigeria is supposed to be.
Okay, so thank you very much. We're going to have to go off the call because 1 minute is what you have, and I believe you've made your point. Thank you so much for calling in. And then, well, let's look at Jonathan's matter. Jonathan, the pressure on him to run for presidency. Now, just yesterday, over the news, we heard that the former president, Goodluck Jonathan, has been appointed to the International Advisory Board of the European Corporate Council on Africa and the Middle East. The appointment makes Jonathan the first sub-Saharan African leader to serve on the board of ECAM Council. Look at the coincidence. Is this coming as a way to tell him, leave the local league? You have gone beyond this level. Concentrate this in these areas. You are now a peace ambassador. You are celebrated all over. You are on every panel. You are on every international board. You go as an envoy to observe election because they believe that you have conducted a peaceful election once. You know, is this a signal for Jonathan? And at this time, his media aide Ikechukwu is saying this man is still in Dakar. When did he even? The allegation that he gave a northern governor 200 million. When did he give this money? Vis-a-vis, when did he join the APC? The Bayelsa APC chairman has said he is not a member of our party yet. So where is the rumor coming in from? And what is the pressure on Jonathan? What is the northern interest in this matter? Meiti Allah got him a form and asked him to accept. He has said that is an insult.
Well, you talk about APC putting pressure on him when they didn't support him in the first place, and then you know the normal maxim they say there are no permanent interests in politics, no permanent enemy, there are permanent interests. So people are free to port and make new alliances. But the way to go, my take on this subject of Jonathan is that he is the one that is actually putting the pressure on himself. He is the one putting the pressure. Nobody is putting the pressure. The president only needs to just come out and say, I am not running.
Let's take this last call as contribution. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name, where you're calling from, and then make your point in just a minute. We're listening.
I'm Frederick. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, go ahead.
About Jonathan, you see, in this country, there is no smoke without fire. There must be something. They have been going underground, and I believe everything that is happening. He has been consulting whether he likes it or not. If he's not consulting or if he's not saying anything about contesting, all these things will not be coming out. We are just waiting for the last point. It will still open to every one of us that this or that is happening. We have been hearing about him moving to APC for long, and he's still coming very, very close. Every time he's in Aso Rock, visiting Mr. President, visiting the president, what is he going there to do?
He's consulting. They are consulting from him. He's an ex-president. His media aide has said that the president always is available to offer assistance as a former soldier. Anyway, let's round off on this.
That's the point I shared with the last caller, that it is actually the president that is putting the pressure on himself. It's not Meiti Allah, it's not APC. All he needs to do is to come out and say, I have been here before, I know what it is, I'm not even interested anymore. If he says that, nobody is going to put pressure on him anymore.
Okay, you're thinking that it's gone beyond his media aid speaking on his behalf.
It is him that is putting pressure on himself. Yes, they are being evasive. They need to be decisive to say the man is not running, he's not interested in the presidency.
Well, the farmers claim that they've gathered their headsmen, I beg your pardon, say they've gathered money from selling their cows, and this is actually a gesture because they believe in him. But that's the much we can take today. So much political drama going on. We would have actually gone into the River State issue between Nyesom Wike, the governor of River State, and the INC, but that will be a talk for another day. Anyways, it's been a great time having you on the show. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Always.
This is the point we can get to today. So much to talk about, so much happening in the polity of the nation. However, it's our duty to bring you the news and make sure that you're informed so that you have the know-how on what is going on around your country. That's much we can do today on the Good Morning Port Harcourt show. Tomorrow will be entertainment time on Freestyle Friday. Keep a date with us. That's the day that we let it down a bit, and then we'll have a little fun on TV. So until I come your way tomorrow, it's been a great time. We'll have Donald behind the camera. Of course, we have Chuswake here as well. And then we have Isaac work here. We have Olisa doing his thing. And this team ensure that you get to watch us every beautiful morning on Silverbird Television. Thank you all for being there. It's been Deborah Balama. Have a beautiful, beautiful Thursday. See you tomorrow morning. And good morning, Port Harcourt.